they do or do not want to go to university, depending on their study enthusiasm. They don't have to worry about it just yet, because it's going to be city center first.
I'm with it. Just to clarify a little bit on what Mana Class was saying, University of Cincinnati, University of Tennessee, coming a little bit later into the EGFC. Both of these teams 2 and 3, and we take playoff seeding by the probability, or not by the probability, excuse me, by the percentage, the win-loss record. So Cincinnati 2 and 3, University of Tennessee 2 and 3. Either of them win a single match, they'll be at 50%, of course. 6 and 8, 6-9, 5-9, respectively for Quinnipiac, William and Mary, and Ryder are obviously much harder numbers to get on top of. Looking at this getting started, talk to me a little bit about these matchups, or these team comps, excuse me.
Look, it's a Symmetra that is switching straight over to something else, but we got a Ball and a Sigma versus a Double Bubble on the other side. A lot of dive going on, a lot of mobility going on. But the big difference is that Zenyatta and that Ana, there's a lot of different types of healing.
Yeah, and no real main support. Only main support on this map is Vocal on the side of Marist College. Doorknob falling first on this. Unique, able to get some damage hacks in edgewise, and Marriage is so far all over this one. Nuke-Llama? We're going to call that Nuke, or Nuke-Llama. I'm an idiot. Nuke-Llama. Yeah. Coming out, we got to spectate that for a minute. Got some solid damage in for a second. Max, FTW. Getting it done, getting back. Now looking to get on top of these supports. Pulls a Fortify, gets on out of dodge while the getting is good. Unique has already provided a lot of value, already up to about 60%, meaning that these two DPSs for William and Mary are absolutely getting it going. Different stories for the sports, 38 and 38 respectively for the TF2 is better and a Laundry. Oh, I get it, TF2 is better. Ha! Emerald falling, Max FTW falling as well, so a tank deleted for the side of William and Mary and a DPS deleted side of Marist. Nuke-Llama looking to get it in the side here. Tracer Bomb out, and I don't think you get a much better Tracer Bomb in the game of Overwatch, Mana Class.
I mean, you can get a triple, you can get a quadruple, but a double in that situation was amazing. They were falling back. William Mary was under pressure, and Nuke-Llama just brings it back, gets the double. Yeah, Face Miss gets that one elimination on the Laundry, but that's too late. This point's gonna flip finally for the first time. The classic city center rumble. It takes forever to cap, and it will take forever to retake if Marist has what it takes. But William and Mary starting off exactly where they want to do. They want to win this game, and they want to win this match. This is a good start for it.
You know, 3-0 fashion is what's going to be on the docket, what the doctor requested here for William and Mary. Looking on board, we might see an EMP soon. Alondri's got her Transcendence soon. There's the EMP. Damage in from the top. Nuke-Llama tries to get into this party and gets instantly rejected at the door. Recall immediately answered. Looking at a little tracer on tracer action. Vocal falling first. Main support done for the side of Marist College. Face Miss over here trying to some damage in from the bottom as well. And I gotta say, William Mary is doing a great job of rotating away and just simply getting away from these sources of damage.
So far, the rotation is exactly where it needs to go, and on this high ground with that barrier of Cavant in the way, and then as well, the disruptions from Max are just exactly what you need in this situation. Marist is trying to get up there. They definitely have the jump capacity, but there's so much negation. They can be hacked, rocked, booped out of the way by a flail. There's just a lot of negation of their dive that they don't really know how to deal with at this stage. They're going to go for a long run, but they need to get close. They can't attack this if they don't get close. They're not a long-range fighting team.
Not at all. Not at all. Up close and personal will be what's on the docket. Self-destruct over the top, and the Transcendence actually called out a Laundry. Just wow. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Zenyatta stuck that far out. And still makes it back, even with the the movement ability that is granted from Transcendence. Beautiful stuff. Tracer bombs all over the place here too. They've been a huge amount of value. We saw this started off with not one but two supports deleted with a single Tracer bomb. That's gonna be money. Take it to the bank and cash it. Gavin here on the Sigma, just getting absolutely dusted from this Primal Raging Monkey. That's Tace. We'll go with Tace for right now. Hack coming out. Face Mist, Taste both done, dusted. Marist College on the back foot, and this is a William Mary squad that is coming out swinging, Mana Class.
They're really taking it 100-0 on that first one. It's not uncommon for City Center to go this way, especially with how hard it is to flip. But it's still a good statement from William and Mary. They didn't look under that much pressure. There was a little pressure in that first fight. They definitely didn't win that easy, but it was really up to Nuke-Llama to get the double kill. Otherwise, they might not have had that first cap. And That's actually an interesting point already, because then we can think, okay, so if Nuke Llama doesn't get those eliminations consistently, is Marist going to do a lot better? Is it really just Nuke Llama putting everyone on his back and just carrying them over the finish line? Because if you can shut down one DPS player, which is not incredibly hard to do, it's like not an impossible task, then if that's all you have to do to shut down an entire team, then Marist should have a fairly easy way to come back into this.
I'm with it. At the end of the day, it's kind of like we were talking about earlier, almost these chess moves. It's just very procedural, right? There's a clear step 1, there's a clear step 2, how teams adapt. When I come through this at the end, we'll spell out winners left and right. Unique, up top here. Got the Mercy on his back to boost up these shots and more. Great job from Taste so far, blocking that damage away, but a boosted Pharah proves to be too much for Doorknob. Oh, dead as a doorknob if you'll forgive it. Unique is 70% up on this already as well. He has more percentage than the rest of his team combined.
Not unlike it usually goes with Pharah. They have the position where you can do damage, whereas the rest of the team has to kind of wait up on this platform for the rest of Marist to show themselves. Yeah, there you go.
Procedural.
Even in the safe location, doesn't even go down with it. That's the problem. Doesn't even go down with the barrage. That's the suicide ultimate tugboat. He just lives.
It is. Guys, it's a full meme that Pharah never gets to finish her voice line. That is just like
justice.
Like literally, yeah, exactly. Like never gets to finish out every syllable, every consonant of that ult line. It gets screamed out, but it never actually gets finished. Unique is playing to the T right now.
Pharah's like a Pokemon. They only get one word out and they just repeat it over and over. But right now, Doorknob almost getting thrown off the map, but not quite. Unique under pressure. Does make it back onto the behind the pillars here, but cannot get wheeled up because TF2 is better. It has indeed fallen. Now Unique has to find an angle to get back. Nice concussion blast.
Fantastic. That's about as good as it gets. The wall actually there for Dumb. That's not Dumb. That's OM. We'll call it OU from now on. Excuse me. OUM. Ohm. Like the. What is an ohm? An OHM?
I don't know.
It's like an
ohm.
It's
an
electrical
ohm is, yeah, an ohm is an electrical power thing. Definitely, it's you use it in physics, I guess, and electrical engineering.
You tell me.
But,
you tell me.
I don't know. I think it might have something to do with resistance, like it's a resistance thing, so there's a certain ohm value. But it's been too long, man.
We'll buy it.
I had it in high school. It's been what, 10 years?
Fair as well. No, it has been that long for me. Taste against Gavant, little tank on tank, and that is more along the lines of what we see McCree versus Pharah kind of gameplay here. Emerald providing that damage on the outside. Marist College past 35, 40% has gotten more percent on the what? They didn't get any percent on the last. That was 100-0, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the problem that Unique's gonna have is actually getting in. Because an attacking Pharah is way harder to deal with than a defending Pharah. Almost get the boop onto that McCree. Emerald at least under a lot of pressure now. So is Doorknob, and this high ground has been vacated.
Self-destruct out. That's partially for a remake and a perfectly timed Justice from above. Just dusts this diva before she can get back in, get that defense matrix up. Fantastic utilization right there. Good timing and more from our DPS. That's Unique. This is William Mary taking on top of this one right now. Just a little bit of cleanup action there towards the end, and we were just denied the team kill bell.
It's been a while since I've seen a Pharah actually, work as well in a game like this. It happened a little bit in the European trials this season, but that's how that works. Sometimes you just have a good Pharah player, but Unique is bringing it out, and they're bringing it out intelligently. They're working with their team. It's not just a one-man operation.
Absolutely. We're back up to the outside here. There's the high noon. Just kind of a little pull up top. We're just shooting skeet at this point. Face missed here, trying to get damage edgewise, and actually gets booped out, then dusted by a laundry. Gets those shots in quickly. Actually gets the value away from the boop as well. Fantastic stuff. Rez coming out here. TF2 is better at getting that, and we'll see it re-engage in a second.
Nothing better than see the Flying Dutchman combination come in there. The Sky Noon, as we also call it. Emerald now with the High Noon ready, but no Sigma to combine it with. Maybe they can be stopped in their place by a Blizzard.
Ooh, almost gets a perfect, not one but two birds, one stone on the High noon against the Pharah and the Mercy. Not going to happen so easily. Unique getting in position, and there we go! First little bit of damage, but not going to be able to get finished on that. You try and start a barrage against a Diva. That's going to happen 9 times out of 10.
And point already got flipped in the meantime, so they have to do a very quick regroup before the timer just goes out. Of course, Max fairly fast, also has the minefield ready, so we'll be able to just get in contest and throw the mines out whenever they are ready for it. This is going to be at least another fight.
Yeah, it actually gets down bottom quickly. Touching there, that's Nuke Llama trying to get out and away from this, and does. For the time being, a super hard commit to the left side by half of Marist College to try and get Nuke Llama, and that has actually gotten William and Mary a huge advantage. This wall really didn't need to have to come out otherwise. That's a flashbang and more, but OUM and Emerald down. Unique Nuke Llama done. William and Mary has no DPSs to be spoken of. Regardless, they're still able to get this Thais main tank down. Gavin takes a second. There's only a couple players left here. There's only Vocal onto that Lucio. OUM goes on over to the Moira here, but really, Mana Class, we have not seen Moira provide very much value in this game at all.
Oh, it's definitely it's a comeback. It's definitely comeback decision just to get there back there quickly. She's as fast as Lucio at times because of that double fade, but doesn't matter right now. William and Mary takes a first map win, convincing on City Center. Little closer, definitely a lot closer on that second point, but it is definitely a good start. They already got that first win out, and 2 more to go, and they might already have achieved their results. And with the seeding, the standings as they currently are, Marist should, according to most statistics, actually do a lot better. But what we also must not forget is that the MAAC conference is separately from the independent conference a lot of the time, meaning that those statistics are sometimes a bit skewed in terms of how well teams have done.
Exactly. Conference play will just be simply more frequent between these teams than it will be otherwise. Obviously, they'll play within their conference a little bit more. That's why we have them. Looking at 2-0 here, the score being the same as our first matchup on stream here today, but overall match within-wise, going to be different for our second game. That was a 99 to 100, whereas we saw 0 to 100s for the first two between RIT and Wichita State, and the first of these Oasis matches going the same way, 0 to 100. William Mary really on the driver's seat right there, and again, Marist has punched their ticket to the playoffs here. William Mary is still fighting tooth and nail for it. He just took this first punch very, very well.
And it's interesting because we're going to Numbani next, and Numbani is bringing out... It has the potential to bring out more mobility, more dive, more compositions like that. And so far, both teams have shown something like that. They've shown the Wrecking Ball. They've shown the Winston, the Divas. Like, they've been coming out. But the execution has been better on the side of William and Mary. And especially if you look at a map like Numbani, where Pharahs and Echoes and maybe even Hitscan to a degree are still in play, it could be a very interesting dynamic between the DPS especially, but also between the tanks. Are there going to be different tank lineups coming out? Are there going to be different DPS lineups coming out? And who's going to take the cake on that one? Is Unique going to pick out the Pharah again? Maybe the Echo this time? What are they good with? Numbani brings it out, and that's what I like a lot about that map, because it has the potential for diversity, and teams will often show diversity on that map. It is always an interesting point to go to.
But Numbani also just being a map that geographically changes a whole lot. We talked earlier about the high ground capabilities, McCree's and more on Numbani. First 3 quarters really playing different simply than the last there. Last point as you're coming into the end, just simply way more open. Again, no high grounds left, right, or center to be spoken of. See kind of how that has an influence on this game. Now, will Unique play the Pharah again? The way this McCree was popping off, geographical differences between our Oasis maps and our Numbani map, it's really predicted beyond first point.
Yeah, and what I will say is that I think a lot of what Unique was doing well was being set up by Max for the win.
Fair.
They were doing a really good job at displacing enemies before the Pharah came in, so that you can't just wait for the Pharah to come in and shoot her down, or you're being booped around by a Wrecking Ball and then maybe a concussion blast, and then you're so disoriented or so unable to really react to what the Pharah is doing that puts you in a very awkward spot. Now, we're going to see Marist on the defense first. They're going to be starting out, looks like so far, with a a double bubble again, very similar to what they were trying to run on Oasis City Center. It definitely could work here. They might switch it up a little bit. We'll see. But William and Mary are, at least in spawn, showing a little bit more flexibility than they have compared to the other 2 points.
Fair, fair. Alondri on the Ashe, excuse me, for the Pharah. Can't say that really makes a whole lot of sense just in the split of attention. Not saying anything about skill-wise, but just how hard that can really be. That's just going to be a flash for now? No. Okay, so we actually are going to see a unique... Okay, never mind. Yep, obviously that makes sense. Excuse me, I'm behind here.
I need healing.
Nuke Llama was scouting out what they had with the Sombra, and Max just goes over to the Winston. Nuke goes over to the McCree. We're going to have a very mobile diving composition. Unique taking a very standard Pharah flank, going out on the side. Just putting in the damage, and already get some ult charge out. But Face Misk is ready.
Yeah, Misk is really providing a solid bit of damage off the top right here so far. And what we have seen is Unique and TF2 is trying to get out from the outside, but Face Misk actually deleted. Unique comes and follows this one up, and Marist College is very little defense to be spoken of. Alondri does fall right here, but still with a Mercy that'll be able to heal everybody. Gavant touches the big health back here, and even res-wise they can have this if they want to. Nope.
I don't think there's going to be an easy recontest. I don't think they're even going to bother, honestly. You can see them already line up to be like, you know what, we're going to hold on B. But they're holding far back. They're not actually going for this aggressive corner, and they don't even have split spawns. I don't know if they're going to give up too much of streets for this, because they give Unique especially a lot of room to work with here.
Yeah, this is a really good utilization of this kind of statue area in front of him to block off damage and kind of peek around the side, get a shot off, and then just kind of get out. We're getting this good, and Face Misk just... Combat rolls directly into that one. Now the barrage from above. Harmonix Taste. All get damage going in that one. And Marist College is once again just dusted off of this defensive point.
Been so long since we've seen Pharah get this type of value against another team. I'm not saying that Marist is a bad team, definitely not, but they do definitely seem to have some issues dealing with the Pharah right now. Harmonix has to go over to the Ashe to try and get that double hit scan power out. But you see Unique already waiting. If they go high ground, this is going to be a slaughter with that Winston and the damage boost to Pharah out there.
Doorknob shows the face for a second. They're going to wait for Harmonix on the Ashe to really get this going. First shots, Face Mix being the first done, dusted again. Harmonix not able to keep up through this pressure. Now the attention goes to the Ana as the Nano Boost comes out. Nothing gained here for the Marist College squad. Laundry does get taken out, but William Mary is still rolling.
It's interesting as well that they went so hard for getting those eliminations before pushing the point in. They didn't need to worry about the card. Even though Doorknob was trying to hold it, they weren't even caring about Doorknob until that very end, because they could just wait for the rest of the fight to be over and then push in. We're going to see Doorknob go over to the D.Va. We're going to the Zarya for a little bit, but then back to the D.Va because they just need something to deal with that Pharah, I guess. Yeah. Harmonix going over to the Mei, though.
Devon out, self-destruct in the back. Not going to find anything there. Harmonix focuses the attention onto Laundry. Nuke Llama follows suit. There's another barrage from the top. Not gonna matter. This is the first Marist College stop, really, this game so far, man.
It's not over just yet. They might actually still be able to do something. Max is throwing out the Primal Rage. Barrage actually did cause the DMAC onto Gavant. Sorry, onto Doorknob. So if they can get that elimination, there could still be something going, and they do, but there's too much going on. It's just the pharmacy still on the cart. They are able to push it a little bit further, at least to get some point progress, but it's finally the elimination onto Unique by Face Misk. It was a long time coming, but at least they showed they can still hit those shots on McCree.
And perhaps I called that a little bit early, but everything donated here from William and Mary now. Closest they're at is 62 on the Alondri Nano Boost. Without other ultimates on board, not sure how much value they'll get from this, though.
No, and they need to build it first anyways. Nuke Llama does go over to the Hanzo for a little bit more tree trunk throwing. Always a nice sport. You know, they do it in Scotland. It's a very nice Viking thing. But hey, Face Misk and Harmonix will keep up the kills. Make sure they just keep that party going and this defense strong.
Max FTW falls there at the end. Log throwing. Isn't that like part of the Scottish games as well?
Yeah.
Like they like tossed it, and they came from them like throwing logs across creeks and things like this, or streams.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And it's not even about the It's not even about the distance. It's more of a style sport to like have it landed the right way.
Really, I did not know that. Style sports. That's what a rush from the top could be called as well. But a well-timed OUM immortality field keeps the dream alive for the time being. Wall out from him as well. Emerald's gonna have that sound barrier. Not sure if now is gonna be the time for it though. Unique goes back up top with TF2 is better. His face mix is trying to get shots, flashbangs, some wildly placed ones there. Not gonna find anything. Res up for a laundry. William Mary's back to a full 6.
And now they're gonna be able to push around this last corner. The self-destruct could be huge though. Oh, against the Mercy. TF2 is better. Unfortunately, couldn't hide in time.
Yeah, perfect damage and kind of from the side on this one. Nano Boost now comes out. OUM trying from the side and just gets absolutely disrespected from our unique Pharah player who does not even have the Mercy pocket as of right now.
It doesn't need it really. It's only there for a little bit of heals and some damage boost every now and then. But Unique, very capable of doing something else. That being said, we finally get some ultimates online from William and Mary again. They have the Minefield, they have the Valkyrie, close to the Barrage, although Unique switches over to the Echo. But this is a push they can actually work with. Gavant is close enough to the graph, they can build it up if the fight goes a bit long. And Nuke Llama, ready to go on the flank again.
I like the unique, pick here. At the end of the day, copying this Mei or the Rhine would really be like a huge game changer. So I'm not against it whatsoever. Minefield out, that's going to negate out the kind of back right entrance positions from Marist College, but they just take it to the front. Not against it. Minute 45 here for William Mary's offense. Pile driver interest getting super, super low on this. Is not going to get the sound barrier in time from Emerald. Standard disengage a little bit. Echo trying to get damage in edgewise. Not going to happen here.
No, they've really been stuck on this last point. I mean, it's a classic thing that happens on especially hybrid maps where the first 2 points can go really quickly. But that's a Blizzard that comes out defensively. Gavant has to back off after that Graviton. And now they still have to find this value. Oh, the attack bar is just going to find at least one, maybe two. Oh, almost. It was very close, but they pressured them around the corner at least.
Yeah, now Nuke Llama going on a little bit of flank action there. Takes an OUM, big pile driver. Max FTW playing this ball to a T. Minefield out, spinning to try and disengage members from this side. That's the Diva as well. 1 meter away, as close, so close they can taste it, and that is all the way in.
To complete the map, 46 seconds on the clock, not a whole lot, but at least it's better than not completing and having no time left. So that's, I would say, a win for them internally. Now, all they need to really do is just hold the cart before it gets the third. Obviously, hopefully sooner, but that's really where they're at. And they have been shown to be a good defensive team, especially on a map where they can abuse high ground, as we saw in Oasis City Center. And this is a perfect map for that. High ground route is a little easier to take for Marist at this point than it is on City Center, but they will still have to contest with that same high ground power and that split that William and Mary is so good at. They don't have to play together as 6. They can play away from each other.
That's very true. And there's an entire kind of value provided from that confidence that comes from, to play this split. Obviously, the classic is the Pharah and the Mercy up top, but other than that, still, William and Mary has been playing very confidently, not making too many mistakes, and really able, like we talked about earlier, the adaptability coming out on top. No real changes from Marist College on the offense here. See how that pairs for him. Obviously, that's offense, and they can still change it. William Mary, Nuke Llama on the McCree, makes sense. Unique on the Pharah, makes sense.
Hey.
I mean, if it ain't broke, we're not gonna fix it, right?
Yep. I'm gonna throw an ain't in there to make it a nice southern say. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Gotta,
a little accent to it.
Gotta go forward here and there. You meet some people. You gotta talk the talk. Gotta walk the walk.
I'm with it.
We're gonna see what Marist is gonna do with this composition, though. It's nothing different from what they've been running before, but can they get through this high ground? If they can, what's that do for them? Because they don't need to take over the high ground, because William and Mary doesn't really care about the high ground all that much. Not this one at least.
That makes a lot of sense here. Like really, like even if they get it, what do they gain? I think that's kind of what we're seeing unfold here as well. Yep. Barrage is not ultimate wise, just in the hellfire of regular rockets coming out from Unique. And yeah, this is William Mary just absolutely beat back here.
So the main reason why they want to get that high ground is not for the entire team. It's only for Face Mist and Ohm. Face Mist and Ohm can have a shooting gallery and a healing gallery up there. That's very nice for them to have if they have control over that high ground. The issue is that William and Mary will always be able to get back on that high ground regardless of whether there's tanks in the way or not. So even if you just have Ohm and Face Mist up there, they can just dive it.
Wow, so yeah, that's about as good as you get with a single barrage and a anti-grenade. Pretty much everybody from Marist deleted. That's going to be an investment of a single ultimate and well-placed anti. William Mary wins this team fight.
You can see as well how limited Tay's role is here. Tay's is literally just a shield bot here. They're just walking in, trying to protect their team from Luke, Llama, and Unique. Maybe a little bit from Alondri and Gavant, but all they do is hold up a shield. 33%. That's all they could gain from their ultimate. Unique is already further away to their next ultimate. So, I'm not saying that Reinhardt is a pointless hero. It definitely has value, but you cannot make... Taze cannot make any moves. He just has to wait until they come to them.
Nice concussion right there. OUM is going to fall on that, gets the window out early. But, yeah, I can't disagree with you. Taze really just, like, he's playing the decent role, but damage-wise, we have not seen him in the left side of that kill feed quite so far. Charges out, trying to join the rest of his team. Not going to matter. Emerald doesn't get back either as OUM changes onto that Moira.
They're just being cruel. Like they're staggering out Taze. And they're also like, you see Taze as well. It's like, I want to swing my hammer, but they're never getting close enough. They're always just outside of the range of that hammer. So Taze is just standing there with a shield up, and I know it has a fair bit of health, but not everyone can stay away from that crossfire and those multi-angles. Now we're going to see them go over to the Winston. It's a better choice. We'll see if it works out. Obviously, it's not a guarantee, but at least Taze will be able to get to the enemy and do AoE damage, which wasn't possible in that Reinhardt.
Now wholesale switches. Face Mist onto the Echo, Harmonics over to the Sombra. Yeah, so they kind of give up, what, 120 ult percentage between the two of them, trying to get into that? Oh, no.
Already spotted out.
And Alondri.
That's unfortunate. Someone spotted Harmonics coming through, and then all he had to do was just spam that right click. Nuke Llama spotting that out quite well. And like you said, they don't have that much time. They just swapped their entire team up. How are you going to ever get those ultimates up? It's not going to happen. And William and Mary are just fully charged almost. I mean, Alondri and Nuke Llama missing, but they'd be able to charge those up quickly if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, this is 2 shots between the two of them, maybe 3 from the Kree to get all the way up to 100 from 60 or so. Self-destruct gets nada. Doorknob investing that one early, mostly for the remake, maybe. Emerald falling. Now we're looking at a Primal Rage inside. That's Max, who's just getting everything done. Unique throws some on for style points. This is going to be William and Mary's first team kill build of their game in a very, very clean 3-0 in map number 2. Numbani kind of going the way of Oasis map 1 for them.
I really appreciate the effort that Marist made there in the end. Throwing out that self-destruct was definitely an effort they could do, because what it did and what it allowed them to do is get in cleanly. The entirety of William and Mary has to hide from that self-destruct to come out. They just have to walk into that corridor and they can actually dive 1 or 2 targets. But unfortunately, the recuperation after the self-destruct, the repositioning was really good for William and Mary. They had that crossfire still set up for multi-angles. There was nothing that Marist could do. They needed to get those kills quickly. They couldn't capitalize quickly enough, unfortunately, on the back of that self-destruct. There are some interesting ideas coming out from them. It's especially interesting ones. Some executions, they're looking really well. It's just that William and Mary is executing that tiny bit better. They're finding those openings. They're finding the adaptations they need, and they're rotating really well.
Yeah, just again, kind of like more procedural Overwatch here being played from your William and Mary squad. Marist College, especially a couple of swaps to the end right there, give up that much percentage when like 35 seconds left. I can understand wanting to fix it quickly, but perhaps not the timing for it as so much. As it is, we're going to go to a very short break, give these two teams kind of a minute to figure out what they want to do. We'll be getting map 3, that's Volskaya, started here in just a minute. Don't go anywhere, because I'd take it personally. And we are back, Overwatch fans. Week 16 for the EGFC continues now. Marist College down 0-2 against William & Mary. Man of class, what are we looking at?
Looking at William & Mary potentially securing themselves a spot in the postseason. That's what we're looking at, because a 3-0 win here could just make that difference for them. And, well, they're looking really good right now. Marist doesn't seem to have an answer to a lot of what they're pulling out, especially that Farah from Unique is just being a, well, a thorn in their sides, really. More rockets in their face, but, you know. And, Volskaya, not necessarily a terrible Farah map either. I mean, they could go Echo as well if they wanted to, but it's definitely one of those maps where Farah can work if you make it happen. And so far, William & Mary have definitely shown that they have the capacity to set up a play for their Farah to succeed. It's not Unique necessarily being the most amazing Farah in the world. They're good, don't get me wrong, but it's that setup that the entire team communicates where Unique cannot be countered. Now, when the defense, Marist is going to come out looking like they're doing the the D.Va Reinhardt, just the standard thing that we see nowadays. The D.Va instead of the Zarya, as a Doorknob coming on the D.Va again. Doorknob having played a fairly decent D.Va, you know, good D.Va so far. And we did hear the last match that actually our number one in the standings would like to go up against Marist, so they're familiar with Doorknob. That being said, though, William & Mary, I don't know if they're going to come out with this. That would be interesting to see a double barrier, but they might just switch it up. I know they like to debate us.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Would not be surprised if Unique was used for that. There you go. Just kind of wait for the fire to come all the way in. Standard stuff. Fire strikes and more. Now Unique going back over to that Farah. We'll see TF2 now on the Mercy. There it comes. Max FTW. We're going to get this going soon. The attention right now is onto the Farah, so that makes a lot of sense for Max to try and take advantage of this. Threading the needle on that one, not touching the tips or the kind of the edge of this inside kind of the barrier right here. Is Max now continuing, forcing Marist to come all the way over here, but this has been all Marist on the left side of the kill feed all the time so far.
It's good recognition of what they needed to do. That win condition was clear. They saw the Farah of Unique and Max FTW just coming behind them, and then Marist was, well, if there's 3 heroes behind us, that means there's 3 in front of us that are basically on their own. Let's just rush them. They did, and they won. It's how simple it was.
Yep.
So even though Unique got a lot of ult charge out of that, that might not be the only win condition that they have, and they're gonna try to do this again. They're going aggressive. Ooh. The rest of the team, but Unique is ready.
Love the concussion blast into the barrage there. The blast barrage combo right there, repositioning very, very quickly. That's going to net William & Mary all the value in the world.
And I'm going to guess that probably comes down to Marist not expecting that barrage to be that charged up just yet.
Fair.
Because if you know the barrage is there, you need to be a little bit more aware of that. You know that Farah has good mobility. So the strategy worked once. It could have worked again had the barrage not been there. So that was just the unfortunate reality there.
Unfortunate if you're Marist College, for sure. Unique already up 35% onto this next. Gonna be a lot more attention focused onto this player, this combo. Pharmacy up top. Maybe have been afforded here before. A lot of this is gonna come down to Doorknob and getting those defense matrices up as well. OUM here, High Noon out. Nobody on the other side of that to connect with. Mostly used for zoning and a little bit of time purchased. Laundry from the back. Charge up some more. Gonna be looking for some heads. Will his shots come in. Unique pulls the attention for the time being, and Laundry is not able to take damage in from the back there to kind of end that. Walls and more kind of keeps this from being a reality, and William & Mary now on the back foot.
William & Mary having to back off. Once again, first fight won for Marist College on the new objective. We are going to be seeing a lot of ultimates come aligned in this next one. That's where it really gets interesting, especially that Transcendence from Alondri. She's able to pull that out on the right moment. That's exactly what you wanna see happen, because all that Blizzard or even the self-destruct and the shatter in a way can do a lot of damage if you don't. Nice dragon to open it up though.
Nothing on that. That's me, Mex, FTW, and Unique getting damage off the top and a couple picks. There's another barrage, and this might be another point take that comes off the back of it, man of class. That's what we're looking at right now. Self-destruct on the top. Does get the Mercy. Ooh. So not able to Guardian Angel away from this one. A well-timed stun from Devant on your Sigma. nets out an otherwise possible staller for at least a few seconds. Speaking of stalling, can't have that conversation without Tess on the ball. Signal just a little bit too late, doesn't catch the butt end of this doorknob diva. William Mary is still going at it this one. Nobody going to be dying for their squad for a few seconds as Transcendence does get initiated. TF2 is better. We'll be back here in just a minute. I think that's going to be enough. Marist College is 0.6% away from losing this one. There you go.
And now Marist has to do not the impossible, but has to fight an uphill battle, which they've been doing ever since that first round on Oasis. They have to complete the map, and they have to complete it with some time left as well. Otherwise, they will not get another chance at attacking this. I know they can do it. They definitely have the capacity, but the problem is that so far when they've attacked this William and Mary team, they've been running into these very spread out compositions. It seems like they're not quite sure where to take the fight, which targets to chase after, and how to get in safely without feeding over either a lot of ult charge or getting picked off along the way. And that's a hard skill. It's definitely something that's not easy to do, especially when you play against this team of William and Mary that's so good at misplacing and taking all these off angles with that Pharah and the Hanzo and all of that. But if they can crack that code, then if they can like figure out that trick, then William and Mary could all of a sudden be in trouble and not actually be able to execute as well as they are doing so far.
It might be more like a commitment issue, sort of, because like you're saying, William and Mary is getting so much value from the split team offensive pressure. Marist College really just kind of covers up one duo, whether that's the 4 down bottom or the 2 up top, between TF2 is better and Unique. And you effectively get a lot of pressure on the players down bottom, and if you can get away from a couple of shots from this Pharah, the charge up shots, then you'll effectively have got enough time to do damage down bottom to really flip this team fight in your advantage. As it is, we'll see how Marist College comes out at this one. Harmonix over on the Tracer, a player we have not seen him play yet.
No, definitely not. Harmonix coming out with something new and exciting. And honestly, putting in more mobility makes it harder to hit, makes it easier to get to enemies. They're going to still go for this high ground push with the Reinhardt. And Taze is going to be under a lot of pressure. This is the reality of the situation.
We talked earlier about how just kind of, again, playing the shield bot, not trying to be diminutive whatsoever, but the amount of damage coming out from this William Mary squad, that is just our simple reality. Headshots coming out not from Nuke Llama, but from Alondri. Fantastic stuff to kind of nuke away this flanker. Doorknob looking to get involved up top, opens the walkway up top to try and get some damage on and then get the rest of this negated out from this defense matrix. Maybe Discord Orb on top, charges out coming. I believe that's Emerald on the other side, not 100% sure who is getting the flak over there. Unique to the top here, that's what we're looking at. Looking to get down bottom. Charge up shots. That's going to be almost the first tick of progress. So close to the first tick of progress. Just flirting with the tick of progress here, the second one. That's not going to be allowed to have happen. This is Unique, and this is his point.
This is definitely what Marist is not going to be able to get that second tick just now. Ooh, they touched it for a little bit. That might have been their Tracer that just attacked on. It was indeed Harmonix. He's now going to try and get away, but nope. That is going to be a recall. Maybe 1 or 2 more Hyperspheres and Harmonix will be gone, but they will eventually get this Tracer. I don't think Harmonix is going to survive this. No. Yeah. There it is. It might have given the rest of the team an easy entry, though. It did, but Emerald still falls.
Damage to the back towards this Hanzo, and he barely rats away. Fantastic stuff from there. So, let's talk about that previous play just like a little bit. Harmonix needs only 2... Harmonix needs two of these Tracer jumps to get across that barrier there, that little bit of icy water. Instead, uses them to dodge. Opinions?
Well, if they hadn't dodged, they would have gone down anyways. It's one of those moments where, okay, I have 2 choices here. I can try and get back to my team and probably fail, or I can try and stall as long as possible so they can in safely and I get back quickly, which is more likely to succeed. And that second option, it almost worked out, but unfortunately, Unique is just ready for everything.
Indeed. Speaking of being ready for everything, it's Harmonix. Nice stick so far. No Transcendence from you, even if you had the last 15% that was necessary. Max now. Big charge onto Nuke Llama. A huge source of damage deleted for the side of Marist College. Here's the Valkyrie. TF2 is better. Really focusing all of their attention on a Gavant. And That's gonna lead to damage through, death for that player, even with the healing on top. TF2 is better, super, super low. Here's the barrage. The sound barrier lands, but just a second too early for Taste. That's a shatter as well that they're not going to be able to utilize, and I think that Marist College is not going to be able to keep this one up.
They're still getting some percentage on the board. At least they got that second tick now, so only one more fight needed. And they're trying to go for the strategy where they're just going to keep throwing bodies in because eventually our respawns will be quicker, but they need to keep getting eliminations. That's a big part of that strategy, and they're not getting them right now. Harmonix once again trapped by sides enemy lines. Gonna try and blink out, at least gets a bit further away, but needs to use the recall. Gets no high health back, and that is gone. 69.1%. They need those 33% to come on top of it in order to be able to get to this point and prolong their lives.
2 seconds, do get the touch on here. High Noon from the top, going to be utilizing these second, but Emerald is completely bottled up right now. Not going to have anything on the other side. 2 seconds, doesn't matter. Nuke Llama gives him one chrome to the dome from the top piece here. Max is going to fall, and that's a barrage that puts a cherry on top of this Volskaya Sunday.
And it's been the same story the entire time. They give up a lot of percentage on the side of William and Mary, but they don't have to fight them until they almost reach 100%. They can not touch the point, stay away, keep rotating and dodging around them, and just kiting away in order to get the damage in. Unique, a big part of that, but also the rest of the team. No one really got touched a lot. The one who came closest to dying all the time was their Sigma. They had plenty of support. This was that strategy. This was that moment where on the first defense that Marist had, they had it going the first fight. Second fight, they tried it again. That barrage was just ready so fast. They weren't ready for it. They had not anticipated on the Unique's barrage. And Unique, I mean, I wouldn't say Unique was the MVP, but I think the entire team setting up Unique for success is what the real MVP looks like. Talk about hard carries. In this case, they all share the load.
I'm with that. Like, yes, Affair is a source of damage you can't just up and ignore over there, but seriously, especially we saw like the master class coming out there between the concussive blast, getting over and just immediately starting, or stopping your movement with that ability, with the barrage on top of that one. As it is, a clean 0-3 for William and Mary. This one much more one-handed, one-sided than our first matchup between RIT and Wichita State, and William and Mary thereby keeps his playoff dream is alive. We got winners only in the interview box. We'll have one coming at you here very soon. Going to a very short break, and we'll be back with you guys in just a little bit. Questions of our ultimate demise and our eternal resting places settled outside of live broadcast here on the EGFC. That's between myself, Juke, Mana Class here, and we got Max FTW coming in for a little interview action after the action that was that 3-0 game. Max, you with us?
I am here. Excited to be here.
Glad to hear it. Appreciate you giving us a minute of your time after the game. Mana Class has got a couple questions for you first, and I will round you out and get you out of here.
All right.
Actually, one thing I really want to know is, how much have you guys been doing the math on your standings? Because we were saying it before, like you kind of need to win in a 3-0, and how much did that actually come into the day? Were you guys aware of that? Did it play any role?
Yeah, so I think that I realized that pretty early. I'm a really numbers heavy guy, especially when it comes to standings. But I didn't really want to talk too much to the team about it. I think adding stress is not something we need before a game that we really had to win. But we definitely knew that this game had to, it was going to help us out if we won it, and we were, really bringing our A game here. We knew we had to win.
It showed.
Absolutely, absolutely. A game really paid off as well. Just a recap: 2-0 on Oasis, 3-0 Nimbani, 2-0 on Volskaya, I believe. No, excuse me. Getting reports 4-2. We did get the extra rounds on Volskaya. Excuse me. But yeah, actually, I guess we can ask you. You did play in that game. Was there overtime on Volskaya, or did you guys shut them out?
No, it was 2. It was 2-0. They got 2 ticks.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I knew it was.
They were close to that third one.
They were very
The
close.
third one, but didn't quite.
Not losing it quite yet as FBI Tugboat. That means, of course, that you held these guys, the Marist College, the top of the MAAC conference, to 0 points across 3 maps. Is this a standard performance from the William and Mary squad?
Look, Tugboat, I'm going to let you know. I think this semester has been so much better for us. I think the first split was really hard. I mean, we played the top teams, Wichita, RIT, UT Arlington. Those are like our first 3 games. Really rough. And I think we came over break. We really kind of put our nose to the grindstone, really started working, and kind of switched up our players. We put Unique over to the DPS, me on the main tank. And I think that we were expecting to win this game. I mean, Marist has lost to all of the outside conferences except for, I believe it was Nepal. So we were like, all right, we can beat them, even though they're obviously third highest team, 11-2, kind of behemoths. We really think we could take this game. So I think we definitely knew this.
I like it. Confident statements here from your man Max FTW26, and I can't disagree whatsoever. Of course, the quintessential follow-up question is, what did that come from? What was there something your team kind of did? Is there a realization you made? Is there anything outside of the roster change that you made from Unique going on over to DPS that really resulted in this just renaissance of different thinking for your Overwatch squad at William and Mary?
Well, I do think that one important thing was, obviously, I mean, besides the comp switches, we, I think, realized, like, we don't want to be 6. I mean, we only won 1 game outside of a forfeit, and that was against St. John's. And so I think everybody on the team was kind of, mentally down. Like, we don't want to end this season, with 2-6 record. That's pretty bad. So I think everyone really started to step up. We had some really great performances coming out from TF2 is better, stepping it up on the main support role. And I think overall in the DPS, you obviously saw Unique popping off on the Farah. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We wanted to be a top team because I know Ratchet Knight said in his first interview after our first win that we're a team to be feared. And I think that we really wanted to show that going into the second split.
I love it. I love it. The fear of failure generating this team, propelling them forward across some general success, I think you can say. Clean 3-0 here. Again, a situation where they kept Marist to 0 points across 3 maps. Man of class, unless you got something else from Max, I think it's time to get him out of here.
I mean, I kind of want to know because you said we moved Unique over to the DPS position, etc. And we were talking about it during the match. Unique obviously got a lot of value out of that Farah. From what we could see, there was a lot of communication going on between especially you and Unique to like set up those Farah plays and give Unique more space to work with without just them creep up in their heads. Was it like a lot of practice that went into that? Because I know there's traditionally been a very good relationship between, for instance, Wrecking Balls and Farah players.
Yeah, so Unique and I, he was the first person I met when I tried out for the team. We got to be good friends. He taught me how to play main tank, and that's what helped me get to where I am now. So we have just some natural synergy, I think, and we just kind of know where each other are, what we want to do. So I think that's a huge thing. I mean, him and I are always talking like, hey, I can slam here, you can do this. And we just kind of have an understanding of where each other are going to be. So I think that was something that really helped us in this game.
Yeah, it showed. Again, it was just very, very apparent to us as well, I guess. And me coming from Europe, we know the Wrecking Ball Fire relationships really well. So it was fun to see them come out here as well in the North American region. So good on you guys.
Oh, thanks. Love playing the ball. Fun hero.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, we had a player kind of bragging about taking the light out of the eyes from the May play. and we maybe have a similar situation for bragging about the ball play. I'm just kidding, of course. I just particularly irritating for me as a Lucio player. What can I say?
Oh,
Max,
I understand.
Exactly. Max, I want to thank you for coming in and give us a minute of your time after the game.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Congrats again.